Welcome, Alison. Good to see you again. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about all things Google Business Profile. The world is changing. Google Business Profiles are updating every 2 seconds. AI is taking over the world. What the hell is going on in the world of local SEO, Alison?
Yeah, that seems to be the basis of everything. And I think AI is the basis to this change, but we'll have to go through the change and try and
Mm.
explain it. And not quite sure where Google is going with this, but it's to do with the chat function in Google Business Profile. Now, which we've discussed previously. Do you remember?
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
we
And
just,
there was the issue with it. You're talking about WhatsApp chat and
that's
SMS
right.
chat.
That's right. And if we just go back even further, there was a chat feature in Google Business Profile that was a native feature within
Yeah,
the Google ecosystem, which they
yeah,
took away sort of midway through 2024,
yeah. You could
disappeared.
automate that. I remember
Yes,
that.
yes, that's right. But you had to go into your dashboard to answer the chat.
Yeah.
That
I
was
remember there was automations integrated with other AI platforms that could automate the conversation within Google Business
that's right.
Profile.
That's right,
Yeah.
because the Google Business Profile would answer the question if you had the context on your
Mm.
profile. Like if they were
Cool.
asking what hours are you open, do you do vegan food, or that sort of thing. If you had
Yeah.
that information on your Google Business Profile, um, the Google ecosystem would provide the answer.
Mm.
But yeah, it was all, but if you wanted to provide the answer, you had to go into your dashboard
Yeah.
to answer it. So it was within Google's ecosystem. So
Yeah.
that went away in January, oh, not January, but 2024, anyways. Then 2025, they brought out another chat feature, which you went in the back end and you had the option of putting a mobile phone either as an SMS text
Yeah.
or your WhatsApp
Yeah.
number. So it went directly to your messaging. So wasn't within the native Google ecosystem anymore where you had to log into the dashboard. It went straight to your messaging, so you
Yeah.
had more control about it. And
Yeah.
we discussed that the WhatsApp was a bit, there's a lot of spam and scam going
Yeah.
on. So we
Yeah.
suggested to just put your text message, your SMS in and reply via that.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's another option, and this is connected to this chat feature, but it's a second type of feature that is further down the Google Business Profile. If you go right down the end to the attributes section.
Mm.
And if business owners have been there, that's where you put, you've got wheelchair access, whether you've got on-site parking, if you provide vegan food, all these attributes, and which ones you're offered to answer in your Google Business Profile depends upon your primary category. So they vary with every profile. But it's things like what payment systems do you accept, whether credit cards, all these sort of things, direct deposit, all these type of things. So, and what happens is that on your Google Business Profile, in the three pack, often Google would have this business accepts credit cards.
Yeah.
This business has on-site parking, and that's taken from the attributes
Yeah.
section, which everyone should go in and have a look because they
Hmm.
change consistently. So have a look. Now, within that section, the attributes, there's a new feature which is called, let me see, I must get it right. Place page attributes is what Google has called it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why that name, but
Doesn't really roll off
basically,
the tongue, does it?
no, place page attributes.
Yeah.
So within that, Google has given you the option to set your messaging method, I'd put it, how you
Mm.
want to be messaged.
Yeah.
So, and it's given actually five options, but Facebook Messenger is one of them, SMS
Oh,
and text. And there's two others which I'm not quite sure what they are. But they're the three main ones. Now, so why is there that the place page attributes
mm.
where you set whether you want to be messaged by SMS, WhatsApp, or Facebook?
Yeah.
And then further up, just underneath where you put your phone number, is the chat feature where you set your mobile phone number. So a tad confusing when you first look at it. And how I'd explain it is that first feature, which has been in for about over a year, is like an action button. So on your Google Business profile, it would have a chat button. You click that and you either put in a message to someone's text or to their WhatsApp number. So it's an action button. Okay, so this place page attributes part is actually just telling Google, and Google, I think, will be showing this underneath your profile, is telling Google that yes, you do take messaging and you do it on this channel. So I think, and I haven't seen it because it's so new, is that there will be Google Business profiles which will have, instead of, on-site parking available, it would have this business or text this business your message, or this business accepts Facebook Messenger, or WhatsApp this business. It would have a line like that. I think that's where it's going. And then there's the button.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, it is good.
Running traffic to Messenger is very convenient,
It is very,
especially if you have a chatbot attached to your Messenger.
yes, yep. And I think what would be even better if you're a business and you've got a CRM attached to
Even
these
better.
messages, even better. So it will all go in one place and you can reply within the CRM.
Yes.
That would be very good. So connect your Google Business profile, and that would be connected to the messaging feature to your CRM. So you've got it all
Yes.
funneling to one place.
Oh,
So
that's so good.
yeah, it is. It is. So business owners out there, there are a few things to think about, but
Yeah.
the fact
Do you
that
have a
Google,
CRM?
yeah, exactly, exactly. First of all, switch all these things, these features on in Google Business Profile, and yes, do you have a CRM? So to manage all your leads and things like that, obviously,
Yeah.
strongly recommended. And this is on another feature. So, and why has Google done this? And I'm sure it's part of a bigger picture that's coming. Obviously, switching on the place page attribute of messaging, that's a signal to Google and AI that this business accepts messaging, as opposed to the button, which is an action button, which is what you see front end. So, and the attribute would actually have they're actually specific URLs that are aligned with the attributes. So it's something which AI can read, like structured data, as opposed to the chat button, which is just a
Yeah.
button. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether that makes sense or not. So it means that the chat feature underneath your phone number is for people to use and action it. This place page attribute, I think, is purely for AI, not purely because it will show in as an attribute, but I think it's telling AI and Google AI mode about your business. And the fact that
Yeah.
it's communication and messaging, it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to get bigger somehow or
Yeah.
other.
So people
So,
will be able to call straight from a chat GPT.
oh,
Who knows?
quite, yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, ChatGPT, I mean, they were, you can buy within ChatGPT. They were doing a alignment with Shopify or something rather, or what was it, Instacart or whatever. I don't know how it's gone yet, but yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly, quite possibly, if you've got this feature and AI picks it up and it's got your number, that you could do it directly within AI. So we'll wait and see. But I mean, this is just being rolled out, and I've looked at most of our clients. They've got all those. The feature is out there right at this moment. So it's not that something that's been rolled out. It's here. So the only thing that I have read, I'm not quite sure about this, is that There is a recommendation to have the action button and the place page attribute aligned to the same thing, which means that if you want an SMS button, chat here and you click it, goes to an SMS text, that the attribute should be this business has SMS texts as a communication platform. I mean, that makes sense to me, but what is interesting is that this new feature has 5 communication options. Whereas when you put the button on your Google business profile, there's only 2. There's only SMS text and WhatsApp at this point in time.
Mm.
So I'm not quite sure where this is going, but I would, within Australia anyway, I would set the place page attributes to SMS and your chat feature to SMS. And you put the mobile phone number in the top in the chat feature, and in the place page attributes, you just say, I accept text messages, or the business accepts text messages.
Wow, that's
So,
cool.
and I'm sure AI is going to pick up that signal.
Yeah.
So this attribute signal. So when people are in and having conversations and I want to contact emergency plumber now, someone with their Google business profile having this attributes saying I accept messages, but that AI will say, yes, this plumber here, you can text them and here's the text button or
Mm.
whatever.
There's always a reason, isn't there?
Yeah, oh, for sure. There's always a game
Always a
plan.
reason.
Always a game plan. Now, there is one thing that I do have to I do think this will change the metrics of Google Business Profile, which are already seen anyway. Because
Yeah.
if people are doing it within AI conversation, they're not going to Google Business Profile, even though the data is
Yeah.
coming, the signal is coming from Google Business Profile. So you have to have it on the profile, but they're actually doing the action quite possibly within AI. So that
Yeah.
means your metrics for the profile, and I'm seeing it compared with last year, are all down, all down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that because your features, your phone number is probably going to be accessed via AI mode, overlays, all these type of things.
That's very interesting.
Yes. And it's really hard to explain to clients.
Yeah, because they look at the data and they go, well, it's
Yeah.
down.
Compared with 24 and all that sort of thing, it is down. It is down on the
Yeah.
profile. But they're probably finding your information in AI because of the profile.
Yeah.
Because with local business, that is still one of the main sources of truth about your business. And this is why I'm sure Google is improving the signals to its own AI mode. So via an attribute.
Yeah.
So everyone go into, so this, can I say the action tip? Go.
Give us one. Before we sign off, what does a business owner have to do by the
Right
end
now,
of this week?
go into the back end of your Google business profile. Go into where your phone number is. Underneath it, put in SMS and put your mobile phone number and check it is the mobile phone number.
Yeah.
Then you can either go to the more feature up the top of the back end or just scroll all the way down and see the places page attribute. Check that on and put SMS, and then it actually says set this is the prompt. So what you are telling Google is that, and then underneath will come text message. And I'm sure people will start seeing that a sentence next to your Google business profile saying, we accept text message,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So that's probably 2 actions. So make sure that there's no point having one and not the other, I don't think.
Yeah.
You've got to have both. Because I
Yeah.
think if you have one and not the other, that is the worst type of signal to give Google at this point in time. It's got to be aligned.
Mm.
And so switch those 2 things on. And I would suggest, Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the Facebook Messenger. That's going to be interesting because I don't know whether Google's going to put that, whether it's going to change. At the moment, the button says chat in your profile. Perhaps it may change to message and it may
Mm.
link to Facebook Messenger. Seeing it's
Yeah,
linking to your SMS and
yeah,
WhatsApp numbers anyway, which is pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah. But I love the CRM idea. How
Yeah.
many traders do you know that already have, things like Podium or that have a dedicated number that they use for the website and stuff like that? It's just, you create a contact straight from Google Business Profile and
Yep. Goes straight into
direct
your
marketing.
CRM and you
Mm,
can, funnel it there and answer within there. And if it's anything like their original native chat feature, you do need to answer. If someone messages you, you shouldn't leave it unanswered because that is a signal to Google that you've turned it on and you're not answering. So
yeah.
it's if you're not going to answer, it's best to have all this not switched on, I would think, rather than having it switched on and never answering it. But it's going straight to your SMS,
Yeah.
which is different to when it was the native where you had to log into your back end of your Google business profile.
Mm,
So you're getting text messages. So, but answer them. Google knows everything and will know whether you're answering or not. And, the quicker the better because it's all these little signals add up
mm.
as far
Yeah.
as showing and
Very important. Very, very important.
yeah,
Every little thing that you learn, you just have to action it.
yeah, yeah. And it's very simple. It is once just do this once. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
There's no ongoing work. Just go in and turn on chat, put it to text, then go down to the place page attributes and say, yes, I'm this business accepts text messages. And
Yeah.
Google may funnel this option out there in, and who
Mm.
knows why, how, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it's AI can pick up this signal that you accept text messages. So
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to get in front of the competition. And
totally.
that's the game at the moment. It's like whatever you can do to outrank the competition, you just have to do it.
That's right. Yeah. And as we always say, if Google's putting something in there, there's a game plan
Yeah.
to it all. And I'm sure it's part of a bigger overall plan as far as putting um, communication, business communication, which is frictionless, no barrier
Yeah.
for people to contact you. And I would think,
Mm.
as you said before, quite possibly could be within AI, messaging
Yeah.
straight from
Yeah.
there.
And you know
Yeah.
what? The businesses out there don't know this. Like no one is out there telling everyone this. So it's so important that, if you're tuning in, just take action and tell someone else as well, because, as long as they're not your competition,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
know, help other business owners leverage their Google business profile because it's a free tool. It doesn't take that much time. And if you can't manage your own, if you've just completely exhausted and you need someone to manage your profile, it's exactly what Alison does.
Yep, yep, exactly. So yeah, we do a free audit of your Google business profile. So might as well get the free audit, and you can do the
Yeah,
tips and tricks yourself, or you can reach out to us. But
yeah,
yeah, there's more changes, but we were talking about another change only last week. They're changing all the time, so it
yeah,
indicates that there's a lot of activity happening there.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
There you go,
Awesome.
business owners. Always look into your Google business profile. Don't let it sit
Yeah.
there and forget because I think
No,
that used to be always one of the worst things, but going forward, it is not a set and
yeah.
forget thing at
Yeah.
all.
Especially now when there's so many things that you have to do to market your business and get out there.
Yeah,
If you knock it out of the way, then you can focus on social media.
yeah, yeah,
Get on top of social media, then you can focus on paid advertising.
yeah.
But
That's
I
right.
met a business owner that had not started anything, and
Mm,
the overwhelm is real. It's like, where do
yeah,
you start? Do you
yeah,
start with your profile? Do you start with your socials? Do you rebuild your website? Do you like? It's just very hard at the moment for
mm,
businesses that have not done anything. So,
yeah.
take that step. Google Business Profile. It's 100%. I tell every single business owner that's what they have to do.
Yeah. And think of it all as layers. Start with that
Yeah,
basic foundation layer,
yeah,
profile, website, and build it up in layers. And eventually you'll get there. And in the
yeah,
meantime, we just have to explain to our clients why the metrics are not showing exactly what's
yeah,
happening, because the sales could be the same, but the metrics are down. It's
yeah,
not been aligned. It's a really state of flux. So, that's
yeah.
what we're faced with. But anyway,
Awesome. Well,
there we
another
go.
great episode. Thank you so much, Alison. It's great
Pleasure.
chatting all things local, and I hope a business owner can benefit from this episode. And if you want more tips, go back to our other podcasts. We've got heaps of them. Follow our guide, and then, yeah, it'll make your life a lot easier. Awesome. Thanks,
Bye
Alison. I
now.
appreciate your time. Till next time.
Cheers.
Yeah.